Hey folks, this is Matt Wilson with BTB Security, bringing you this week's edition of BTB Reacts. Figured in the tradition of actual reaction videos where you play something and then have a little fun with it. We've done that, once or twice. We've actually done something similar to this week's content in a BTB Figuring It Out video with Ron Schlecht and I at some point last year. But I thought it'd be fun to do something on hacking in movies and television. I think anyone in any industry that's their specialization can look at how their industry is portrayed and say, that's not me, whether you're a bus driver or an electrician or a teacher or a hacker. And anything involving technology, the movies seem to get it pretty bad. So I figured we'd have some fun with it and show you a scene that stood out to me when I did some kind of poking around. So this is the most accurate hacking scene ever, as stated by Kyle Buchanan, whom I don't know, have no affiliation with. But this was a pretty good clip from a show called Castle, which I didn't watch a number of years ago, but apparently this aired some time ago. So let's jump right into it.
Firewall 1. We got a problem. What? Someone synced a rat on my servers. Remote access to it. We're being hacked.
Okay, so that's, of course, not at all how anything happens. And I do genuinely love the weaving in of techno babble with actual terms that do exist, right? A rat is a remote access Trojan. I'm sure some other people will call it other things, but it's software usually used to remotely control or interact with the system. So that is something that bad guys do use from time to time. And there is this obsession with firewalls that we seem to have in just about every movie and TV show. And I got to admit, even working with some organizations over the years, there is this perception amongst the less technical business folks that if I have a firewall, I'm good, or I've bought a new firewall, therefore I'm good. Firewalls have a time and place, but they are not panaceas. They do not solely protect your organization from everything. And boy, oh boy, does it get worse from here.
And by locks out?
I don't know.
But we've been so careful. How could they find us?
They haven't found us yet. Just cracked the outer layer of our system. We'll start an intrusion inspection and find out who our rat is.
Ooh. Digits, foreign codes, looks matrix.
They're on to us.
Okay, so I had to stop it there because the flash of the IP address is being tracked. We all have IP addresses if we're interacting on the internet, be it our phone, our computer, our home router, right? That has an IP address that is available and broadcast. Usually, I'm oversimplifying some things, but usually broadcast to the world. Yeah, I mean, tracking is pretty easy. You can use a whois lookup, and I encourage you to look into ARIN and APNIC and all the all the authorities, and you can easily look up at least who owns an IP address. The real trick will be if you're through an ISP, like many home users are, Verizon, a Comcast, they're going to own large swaths of IP addresses. And that will be roughly accurate potentially to a geography, but it's not something that is very reliable. Maybe when this was shot, there was maybe a difference in feeling about reliability, but any decent bad guy is going to jump through effectively multiple systems if they're trying to mask who they are and where they're coming from, right? The lazy folks, they don't care. They don't care that you know that they're from whatever part of America or the world. But finding an IP address, it's broadcast. It's who you're interacting with, at least directly. Someone may be controlling other systems along the way, but yeah, that's terrible.
I think he's trying to track our IP address.
Well, can you stop it?
No.
And you can. That's accurate.
Inside the city, trying to narrow it down.
You can get to, again, geos, if you know something, the ISP certainly knows who has it. Start Counter-Strike. So that is either an awesome Easter egg for us nerds and gamers, or they just thought it was a cool term. But Counter-Strike is tremendously popular for probably the last 20 or so years. It was originally a mod to a game called Half-Life, and it is, I mean, yeah, it was one of the original online shoot 'em ups. All right, back to it. I mean, oh, cats. Okay, so that probably is accurate. Trolling people with cat videos. Sure. I mean, who doesn't like cute cats? Dogs?
Cat videos? That doesn't seem like Locksat. Who would do that?
We're about to find out.
No.
Barely slowed him down. I'm sorry, but he's going to find us in less
And
than a
it's
minute.
two people going against each other. Or 4 people. 2v2. Ooh, did everyone see? Hold on, can I jump back and catch it? Look at the box of stuff. Our firewall is at some percentage. There's multiple firewalls, which some organizations do and should. You might layer firewalls, that the concept of defense in depth. That's fine. I'm not critiquing multiple firewalls, but no one visualizes it that way. I can't imagine the like script notes that said like cool blocks with spinny stuff and neat characters that look like runes. Okay. Yes, hack. It's just click a button. Yeah. I always want to know what their hands are. Oh, you got
That's
it.
Castle's office.
Yeah. So that, unless you're the ISP or the NSA, perhaps, or some other state actor with tremendous tentacles into that can get that level of insight, you're not going to be able to locate down to a specific address. That's no. Yeah, I mean, again, if you're in the ISP's records, maybe.
Working with Haley, she's got the skill set for this.
These guys.
She is about to breach our firewall. If she does,
See?
we'll have instant
Firewall.
access to our entire investigation.
Instant
That's
access.
Target on Castle's back. We have to stop.
It's not.
I can do
That's
that
not helpful.
anytime.
Let me see if I can buy you some.
Now this is social engineering, so we're getting grounded in reality again.
Hey,
Hey, babe.
did you mind about tonight?
Tonight's still not gonna work. But what about right now? Feel like steaming up your office?
And this is mostly family friendly.
Sounds great.
I don't know how many children are watching this, but here we go. We're on the 6th firewall now. Okay, that's sure. I'm not saying it's impossible to have 6 firewalls that are layered in this manner, but decrypting the firewall, that's questionable. I don't know why you'd be decrypting a firewall.
Sort of
Don't have a good analogy for that.
Really,
Just
that's
doesn't
too
make
bad
any
because
sense.
I'm right downstairs.
So social engineering, good tactics here.
I can be up in
This
10
is fine.
seconds.
10 seconds is not long at all. Hey, hold on a second. We should
They're mining each other for information.
She's
Good.
lying. A phone is pinging from Queens.
Good read.
And
And immediately knows where her cell phone's at. Again, if you have access to the telecom, like at AT&T, Verizon, whomever, potentially. But
sorry about that. Just taking
she
off my
doesn't.
pants. You coming up?
He doesn't mind. Hey, you know what?
Very dramatic
Something
iPhone
just came
usage.
up. Rain check?
Sure. You know where to find me.
Okay.
I love, was that like an SD card that was there? Let's go back, see if we can find it. Was that like, what are they saying is connecting this? What is that? I don't even, I don't know. But it's getting closer, and that's bad.
Launch a cyber nuke, but it'll completely fry
Cyber nuke, fry systems.
He's got a backup system at home.
Is it a go for launch?
Yes.
Oh, that close.
Just happened.
Armageddon, I'm afraid. Okay, got it.
So yeah, cyber nuke. There was something that was kind of making the rounds a couple of years ago. I forget the name of it. Someone will probably remind me because it was some former friends and colleagues that investigated at the time, but there are devices you can buy that are USB based that are basically big capacitors that store a lot of energy, and when you plug them in, they dump all that energy into the system and fry it. So that is possible, but that will require physical direct access to the system. Again, I'm not putting it by any nation state actors or that are capable of that spooky action at a distance, but yes, you're not certainly not on 3 screens having a big bomb looking thing that's going to just stop someone in their tracks. On the defense side, you're usually looking to just simply deny access, and while you're investigating who they are and where they're coming from. So anyway, that was a little bit different. Hopefully it was fun. Hopefully you folks enjoyed it. Thanks for joining us. Please follow us on the Twitter, on social media. We're at BTB Security. I'm at BTB_Wilson. And yeah, thanks for joining us.